But you said a lot there. Let's uncover this. Let's do this. Number one, like Saturday nights with you sound fucking fire, first and foremost. Let's talk about that. Sexy Saturdays with John Legendary, I think, is a new thing that we're doing.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Oh, yes. So taking it back to college, like the frat house culture and like the frat boys and different things like that. Were you always comfortable like busting down girls with another guy? Because I know that sometimes like when it comes to like a threesome with two women, we always know that it's always more of a fantasy, right? And I feel like sometimes like the males have to be more comfortable with their sexuality, which obviously you are, right? Where you're just like, hey, like I'm here, we're having a good time, I'm fulfilling this woman's fantasy. Like, did you ever run into any issues where guys really weren't as comfortable or as confident as you were, like during those situations?
So I grew up in Detroit, and I think we got started with sex early.
Okay.
And even though I consider myself a late bloomer, because I didn't lose my virginity till I was 16.
Okay.
I was like, I lost my virginity in a gangbang.
Oh,
Like nothing sentimental.
I love that.
None of my girlfriends.
Yeah.
I had girlfriends at the time, I'm sure, but they wasn't giving me no ass.
No. I mean, like, I feel that. That literally is legendary. You lost your virginity in a gangbang.
Yes. It was me and my friends, and it was this girl, and we just growing up in Detroit. We love sex. You love the idea of sex. But you had to find the freaks, and you had those neighborhood freaks where it's like you can come through. She may have a line and suck everybody off, or you come through. Her parents going, bring a couple guys, y'all all fuck her,
Yeah.
So that's what I knew. So I was very comfortable, being around other guys, where we were focusing on the female. It wasn't nothing sentimental about sex. I mean, maybe that's why sex is not as maybe it's more extracurricular to me now,
right?
Because of that,
I
might need to see a therapist about that.
Well, I know a girl who's a sex therapist. I don't really think it's like, I think that we're all different when it comes to perspectives of our sexuality. I think it depends on where you grew up. Like you said, you grew up in Detroit where like that's normal for you. There's some girls, some people, male or female, that grow up in places where it's more conservative. I myself, like I grew up in the suburbs of Colorado. I mean, I lost my virginity in the backseat of like a truck, to a kid because I had like a crush on him, whatever, But like I've always been curious about sex, and I've always enjoyed my sexuality, right? And I think that there are certain people in this world that's just what you are, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we try to dig into it and try and say like, oh, like you have problems. Like there's like this, there's like that. It's like, maybe there is a little bit of that, but like, there's nothing wrong with being overtly sexual. Like if you're being safe and responsible and you're okay with what you're doing, you're not putting anyone in harm's way. Right. Like,
exactly.
I think like, I think that's just me. As long as you're just like doing it and you're doing the things that you want to do, then that's you. Right. And I'm a firm believer. I've talked to some like Reiki people, and they always say that like when you have a lot of sexual energy, you have a lot of healing energy.
That's a new one for me. I like that. I might have to take that one.
Take that. It's very I guess it's very like nurturing, whatever you want to call it. But I think that we tend to like not embrace that sexual culture, and you can see a therapist about it, but as long as you're not like hurting anyone or like putting anyone at risk, like I keep saying, then I think you're doing pretty good.
I mean, I really believe in just taking ownership of your sexuality.
Absolutely.
And before getting into any relationship, make sure that you're cultivating like what you want in a relationship, and how you bring sex into that relationship. Like you can really, like, it's almost like Build-A-Bear.
Right.
You can, with the right person, you can build the type of relationship you want, what type of sex life you want. And so as I've gotten older, it's like, okay, well, now I want to be more E&M,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not poly because I don't currently have the bandwidth to love multiple women. But I do like to being intimate with a variety amount of women.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think that's amazing. I'm the same way too. I feel like you can, like a long-term relationship, right? It's like, okay, if you're with the right person, you can try a whole bunch of things. You can try
hell.
all kinds of things.